Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for your continued support. Right, so I'm a little bit late to this particular story. I understand that, but lots have been going on, as you can probably tell, or if you've seen the videos you'll know that lots have been going on. But there has been this story going around that the Labour government are going to, or at least thinking about, allowing Labour MPs to abstain from the vote on the Green Paper, which is basically the benefit cuts. Now, this is a big shift for Labour because previously they have basically forced MPs, the Labour MPs, to vote for the party, and if you didn't vote for the party or if you voted against the party, then you would either have the whip removed, you'd be suspended, kicked out of the party, whatever it might be. They were very strict on this, that they wanted every MP to vote for the party. But this kind of shift away to, well, you can abstain from voting if you want to, is, suggests that they are a little bit concerned about the strength of feeling that some of these Labour MPs have. Because, there are MPs out there, the Labour MPs, who are going to be just doing this lip service, and they're going to be telling their constituents that they're upset about it, but actually they're just going to toe the party line. We know that's going to happen. But there are some MPs out there who have consistently been against these cuts and have come out on various social media and in interviews and have made clear the fact that they are unhappy about these cuts. So that would suggest that there is a core of Labour MPs who are very unhappy about this. And so this abstaining, this option to abstain, is the second best option for the government, because rather than having these MPs voting against the government, which could potentially cause the vote to fail for the government, by abstaining, they're simply going to have those voters, those MPs, not voting against. They're just going to be abstaining. So again, they could still push through these changes. So there has been a lot of talk about this. But what I would say, and I'm not suggesting that any MPs are going to be watching this channel, because they're probably not. I'm a very small channel in the grand scheme of things, and I know that I've had a lot of really nice comments. Thank you to everyone who's been emailing, by the way. I've been leaving my email in the top comment the last few videos for anyone who wanted to talk about what's going on. Not that I can offer much advice, because I'm just here talking about the news. I don't have any inside information. I don't have any details other than what I see in the news, but I can talk about these things. And if you see a news story, or you see something which you think is worthy of attention, please email me, let me know. So anyway, I'm not saying any MPs out there are watching this channel, but what I would say to them is abstaining isn't enough. Abstaining from this vote is not going to be enough to save these people from cuts and really severe mental health problems as a result of these cuts, because a lot of people have become very unwell because of these proposed cuts. And it's abstaining is not going to work. If you abstain from the vote, it's just like you voted for the cuts, really, because we know that the Conservative government aren't opposed necessarily to what the government are doing. In fact, some of the Tory MPs have said they should have gone further. So we can't say that they're going to vote against it. They may well vote for it. We know that Reform are no friends of benefits, people on benefits, so they also could vote in favour. So we need to have as many votes as we possibly can against this, and that means that every Labour MP who feels genuinely strongly about this has to stand up and be counted. And I really hope that they do, because, as I said, abstaining is not the answer. We need to have them voting against this. That is the clearest message that they can send to the government, to say this is wrong, because it is wrong. Everyone knows this is wrong, and everyone except the people in the government, and maybe even they know it's wrong and they're just doing it anyway. But anyway, so I'm hoping that MPs will see the right things here, because you know they've got to go back to their constituents and they've got to tell them why they voted for these cuts. And you know, I've seen news articles where there are a number of Labour seats where the number of disabled people in those constituencies outweighs the number of seats, well, the number of votes that they got in that seat. So if all of the, or enough disabled people come together and vote against the Labour Party, they could lose a number of seats in the next election. So you know, they've got to understand how strongly people feel about this, and I'm hoping that they're not going to just abstain. I hope that they're going to vote against. But let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. I would love to hear what you've got to say. Do you think that this abstaining from the vote, do you think that's going to work? Do you think that the Labour MPs who are a bit uncertain might just go for an abstaining rather than voting against? Or do you think that this is just another indication of how strongly the opposition is and the government are a little bit concerned about it? Let me know down in the comment section what you think. As always, please do subscribe if you've got this far. It really does help the channel to grow and reach more people. And until the next time, I'll see you then.